Let's talk about making yoga fit into a busy life and the future of my yoga business. Folks, if you struggle to fit yoga into your busy schedule, me too. Me fucking too. Today, I want to talk to you about what works for me and how it might work for you too. But more than that, I also want to share some big shifts happening in my business and how they'll help you get access to more yoga. Welcome to your weekly dose of yoga inspiration. Every Thursday, I upload an episode here, and these are designed to help you feel calmer, more present, and more agile without adding to your workload. This week, I am diving into the business of yoga, but in a bit of a different context. I'm giving you some insight into my business and sharing how I'm restructuring a few things to serve students like you more impactfully. I want to talk to you today about simple ways that you can integrate yoga into your daily life, even if you're always on the go. The problem is we're all busy. We love being busy. And, a lot of the times I ask people when they come into class, how are you doing? How's your day? And we all respond the same, super busy. And I always respond back saying, great, busy is good. And just like you, I'm a busy working professional. You're a busy working professional. I live in the city of Toronto. It's a fast-paced city. And as a full-time yoga teacher, I spend a lot of my days commuting between classes, whether it's on foot, via bike, subway, or bus, weather depending. People often ask me, why don't I teach more here? I teach at a few studios throughout the city. Each one I'm at maybe 2 or 3 times a week. And the reality is my schedule is packed. What most folks don't realize is that in between classes, I'm not just napping. I'm also planning sequences, handling my bookkeeping, my accounting, my marketing, creating content, and running this business full time. It might sound familiar. It's probably not much different than your full-time job and all the things that you have to do in a day. Then there's everything else. Aside from our work keeping us busy, we got cooking, cleaning, kids, errands. It all adds up. And I've realized that we're all in the same boat. Whether you're in the corporate world, whether you're in the hospitality world or the wellness industry, we're all hustling. And if we're not careful, that hustle can lead to burnout. Slowing down is so essential. And this is what I'm super grateful for about the yoga practice and how much it can teach us to slow down. Because if we don't, we're going to break down. Yeah, that's a good one. If you don't slow down, you're going to break down. It happens all the time in the yoga world. I see it with teachers burning out because they're just stretched too thin. They're teaching a lot of classes. They demo every class. Physically, they're taking a toll. Mentally, it's a toll. And it's not just yoga teachers, though. Most of us live in this constant state of more work, more responsibilities, more goals to hit, more things to get, more stuff to buy. We are rarely encouraged in our lives and in society to feel like we're enough, to be content with what we have, who we are, and where we're at. Contentment is one of our niyamas in the Yoga Sutras. And when we don't take the time to pause, we burn out. I love giving this analogy of a car. The harder and faster you drive a car, the quicker it's going to break down. Our bodies are very similar. So let's talk about some solutions. How do we deal with this? You don't need hours of free time to make space for yourself. Small, mindful moments can change everything. Here are 3 simple ways to build mindfulness into your day. Number 1, listen to your surroundings. Next time you're in your car, turn off the radio. If you're commuting via TTC or walk, take your headphones out. Just take in what's around you. Even if it's chaos and it's not perfect nature and that serene setting of trees and birds chirping, just listen to what's around you. Number 2, multitasking is the worst strategy in the world. Do one thing at a time. There is no need to constantly be juggling 5 million things. If you're folding laundry, fold laundry. If you're washing dishes, just wash dishes. You don't need to have TV on in the background. You don't need to have your headphones in and have your mind split between the two different things that you're doing. You'll fold your laundry faster and wash your dishes faster if you just focus for 10 minutes strictly on that one task. This is yoga off the mat. Do one thing at a time, and it's going to make things way more efficient, and you're going to feel way calmer. Number 3, prioritize short movement breaks. Again, it doesn't have to be an hour-long class every single day. Do one pose, do 2 poses. I do the old method of coffee with the Italians, like the Italians do, and I have the stovetop coffee maker. It takes like 10 minutes for me to make my cup of coffee. I'll set everything up, and I have time to do a handful of stretches. I'll do it right there in the kitchen in front of the stove. A forward fold, a malasana squat. Maybe I'll hold on to my sink and lean back and stretch my back a little bit. But there's opportunities for tiny movement breaks all throughout your day. Okay, so let's get into some of the business stuff. Inside the business of yoga, these episodes were originally geared towards teachers, but I've made a big shift. Over the last few weeks, I've decided to let go of creating content for yoga teachers. It means that I'm pausing my yoga teacher mastermind group and the extra newsletter that I was writing for yoga teachers. And some of you might be wondering why, but the reason is I actually want to focus more on being a student and serving students. This was my biggest thing for yoga teachers. I would tell them is that I want to teach you the business of yoga from someone who's already in the business of yoga and doing it alongside with them. And my business needs to be updated for 2025. The students like you who practice with me, whether it's in person or online, many of you stay connected through my retreats, my classes, and I want to create more content to support you and your yoga practice, no matter where you are, whether you can get to my classes or not. Some of you have been on my newsletter here for a very long time, and I haven't actually seen you in a very long time, but you're still here and you're connected, and that's really sweet. I love it. So what I want to tell you is that I'm launching my first ever mini course. It's a pre-recorded course on flexibility. It's free. And I chose the topic of flexibility because through my most recent newsletter survey, it's what most of you talked about. Most of you talked about wanting to be more flexible, and that was the reason why you were driven towards yoga. So I've put together a 3-part video series breaking down what flexibility means from the standpoint of yoga. This isn't your gymnastics level, contortionist level movements. I've never been able to put my foot over my head or go upside down and do any of these crazy yoga poses you see on the internet. My approach, as many of you know, comes from someone who's naturally tight. I played sports, I love weightlifting, and I want to share with you what actually works for me in keeping myself feeling flexible, agile, and pain-free. So this mini course, like I mentioned, is totally free. And if you want more personalized guidance inside the program, when you're done, you'll see that there's an offer to work one-on-one where I can help you create a customized sequence based on what you might need and what your situation is, right? Maybe you need something more for tech neck. Maybe you need something more for running recovery, or something that you can do just standing in front of your desk at work. So make sure to check it out. I'm going to put the link below, and it's also in my Instagram bio. You're going to find it. It's going to be somewhere accessible. So please take a look. I would love for you to check it out. Like I said, it's free. It's called the Flexibility Framework, and everything I'm doing now is really geared towards busy people who are stiff and stressed. So that's my new tagline. Nothing's really changing in terms of how I teach or what I teach. I'm just trying to shift the messaging and the creation of content around this idea that we're busy, we don't have a lot of time, and we just want to feel good, grounded, calm, and agile, right? And that's exactly what I use the practice for. Again, I'm not practicing to be able to go upside down. I'm not practicing yoga to do the entire full splits. I'm practicing for longevity, for sustainability, so that I could play with my kids. Maybe they'll have kids one day. I want to be able to get down on the ground and play with my grandchildren. So These are the motivations that lie behind my practice and what I'm creating for you. So I hope that resonates. Going forward, you're going to see me be active on 3 platforms, and this is going to start to look a little bit more consistent. I mean, some of it already is pretty consistent. So email newsletters is one. Most of you watching this video are from my newsletter. So that's the way to get updates and insights. I'm going to start using Instagram a little bit more for short, digestible content for you to be able to fit yoga practices into your daily life. And the idea behind the Instagram videos is I want them to be something that you click save, that you want to come back to later and be like, yeah, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try. Joffer said, try sitting for 3 minutes. I'm going to try sitting for 3 minutes. Joffer said, try doing these 5 poses for 1 minute a day. I'm going to try that and see how it feels. So Instagram is going to be very specific towards these short targeted sequences and digestible content that's going to help you build your yoga practice. And then there's going to be videos like this for YouTube. For in-depth video content, you're going to see more short newsletters coming at you that are linking some new videos to YouTube, whether it's a 15-minute yoga class, a talk on mindfulness, something from my blog, or a behind-the-scenes look at my business and my life. I've been experimenting with different formats for months now, as some of you know, and I realized that this is really the direction that I want to go. I don't want to get stuck in old patterns just because that's how it's always been done. Growth comes from trying new things, and in my work with yoga teachers, I would talk about this a lot, that what I did 10 years ago to build my business from the start and to build a newsletter audience, what I did 10 years ago is not going to work today. It's very different. And because of the mentees that I've mentored and the questions that they ask me, I've had to start asking myself, well, yeah, what would I do if I started all over again today? If I was at ground zero, what would I do differently? And the answer to that is YouTube and videos. It's the way the world is going. I look to YouTube all of the time for information on weightlifting, on recipes, on food. We're in a very video consuming society, and that's what I tell new teachers. I would learn everything there is to learn about recording, editing, saving these videos, having the space and the hard drive, whatever. So I'm going through it. I'm teaching myself how to do those things. You're along for the ride, and let's stay connected. Let's keep doing this thing. Finally, I just want to say thank you. Some of you have been following my work and my teachings for years, like 10 years. Some of you have been here the whole time. Even if we haven't seen each other in a long time, I know there's some of you that are still reading these newsletters, reading these emails, and watching these videos. And when I see your comments, your messages, and your emails, it genuinely makes my day. So if you've been here for a while, if you're watching, reading, or following along quietly, let me know that you're here. Comment, send me a DM, reply to my newsletter, whatever works for you. I'm looking forward to continuing to navigate this busy life together with more joy and more yoga. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I can't wait to see where this new chapter takes us. Until next time, peace and love. Namaste.